We begin at level 1. Okay, I'm going to make one of those little candle heaters. I was going to use this, but as we see that even if I bend it, it'll be a little too low far as the things. We need that top circle to go inside of here and hold this. And that's a little too low for me for what I do. I may use it later, but I'm going to take one of these dollar store stainless steel rulers, and I'm going to use that. So I've already marked on here exactly where I'm going to bend it for that circle. And then that circle will go around here in the inside, and then we're going to bolt it. So let's do that first. Okay, we took our pliers and we bent it, and it's fitting perfect. See if we can get that back in focus. Right over that hole where we're going to put the bolt. And now we're going to do the bottom piece so we can screw that to a piece of wood or something flat. All right, let's come back and do that. Okay, we're going to go to the next step because we've already got this bent. We want to bend it to size, but we realize that the bolt that I want to use is just a tad too big for this. So we're going to try to drill that out without breaking this ceramic and see where we go from here. And as soon as I do that, we'll be right back. Okay, I know people are going to ask me about the size. So we're going to use this drill bit right here. And since I don't know a lot about drill bits, people can see that. Very good. Okay, so we're going to drill this out and come back. Okay, we drilled it out. We got a perfect hole there. And let's see if the bolt fits. And there we got it. The bolt fits. Perfect. Now remember, I got this from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so this was inexpensive, but I could have got it cheaper. But guess what? We were at the dollar store. We bought a couple ceramic pots because I didn't think they sold them, but now they did, and we bought it. So we're doing it for this project. We got the hole drill out. It fits down perfect. You know the size of the bolt. Let's go on to the next step. So the next step is to put a washer on the outside. Just like that. And we're going to put one on the inside and put that bolt on there. And we should be able to put our angle on there. Now, what we didn't test is to make sure this bolt fits into the steel that we're using. So we're going to make sure that that bolt, and yes, it fits right down in there. So that'll go on the inside, and we'll be able to bend it to a thing, drill a couple more holes, and then put it to a board. Very simple. Okay, let's go to the next part. Okay, we flipped it upside down. We got a, matter of fact, I'm going to put another washer in there. Just something that I decided to do just at the last minute. But let's see if we can get a washer out of here with one hand. Okay, so we're going to add that extra washer in there. And that means we're going to put that washer over the bolt. If we can get that down over there. Okay, so we got that over the bolt. And we're going to fit that down over that. And yes, we're going to put another bolt. And then we're going to screw it down and make it tight. Okay, let's go to the next part. Now that we got that bolted in and tightened, we're going to take this. Let's see if I can get it on the side here. And we're going to bend it this way. That means backwards. And the reason why is that that candle, if you see, the wick itself won't fit over the top of that. So if we bend it back, and then I have a bigger candle, is even offset more. So we're going to bend this back and we're going to bend it back forward again. So a couple bends. So let's do the first bend and then we'll come back and show you what that first bend looks like. And don't worry about measuring. I'm just going to eye this and I'm going to bend it right at the end of this. So it goes back here and then I'll bend it back down. So let's do that first part first. Okay, I got the first bend in there. So it'll sit like that. And I'm going to make another bend, which goes back straight this way. So remember, I just eyed this. I didn't measure it. I could have got it closer if it, if you choose to do yours a little bit closer. I just bent it. I didn't bend it professional. I just see it's kind of crooked there. But I'm not worried about any of that. I just wanted to hold, and that will be our first test. So when we make this, I'll put this in a vise and get straight edges on this and make it better. But since this is my first prototype on this particular one, we're just going to see how well that bunch. Now, again, if I didn't mention it, I got these stainless steel rulers at a dollar store. So you have to probably search for it because they weren't at the Dollar Tree, and sometimes they have things in and sometimes they don't. So again, there are other materials in which you can use. Here's a material. This is aluminum, and I bought this off of Amazon. It is a dim rail, I believe that's what it's called, and it's about the same size as a ruler. So if I bring this ruler over here and measure that, it's about the same size as the ruler. So you should be able to use that if you can't find one or the other. Now you still may have to drill it out, but we're going to go to the next step and make that second bend. Okay, we got our second bend into it and it's looking good. So what happened is now that candle can be positioned straight over the top of this right here. And then I'm going to see if I can adjust that. Again, I don't know, but it'll be okay. It's however you want to sophisticate something or how much time you want to put into it. Right now, we're just going to make this work. So it won't be adjustable, but I will get it in there and I will do it to the size of this guy. Instead of doing it with this dollar store candle, which I got at Dollar Tree, I'll do this with this guy, and therefore I can put my candle in here using Crisco oil, and it should do the same job. Okay, so that means that I'll probably have a bend right about there. So let's do this, because again, some people like measurements. As you can see the ruler here, if I just put that like this, you can see the number right behind there where I'm going to put the bend. Okay, so that should give you an idea on what I did and how high this dollar story is. And then even with that, it should, even though that's bigger, it's still, if I go back down to around that area, it should be around the same thing. So, you know, if I measure that, I know this is not 1, but if you see, if I put it right there at 7 and then look at it from this angle, you should be able to figure out how big this jar is just from that information there. But let's make our second bend and put some holes in this. Okay, we got our bend in there, and that's what it should look like from the bottom. And it should sit like that, if you can see that. Now this, again, is a bit flimsy, but it does hold it, and that's all you needed. It needed to be done. And now we're going to put a base on here and put 2 holes where my fingers are. One at the top, or one up here, one over here, one here, one here. Okay, so we're going to drill some holes, and then we're going to screw it down. And then we'll be able to just bend this to exactly get that level, because it's not exactly level, and then we can put our candle and all that stuff together. Okay, so let's do that, and we'll come back. Okay, I went down and cut a piece of scrap wood, and as you can see, this is not even, and this was the side that it was already pre-cut, and it's definitely not even on this side. That was not something I was worried about because this is a prototype. But I cut a slot with my, I think, metal cutter. And then I used a drill that we could fit down in there and drilled out that slot just enough to get this to fit in there. Okay, so again, it doesn't fit in there all the way. Now that's the purpose of, again, let's see if we can get a good focus of that, as having a ruler. So I marked on here how far in depth, see if we can get that ruler would go in there, that I could get it drilled out with a regular drill bit. Okay, so it wouldn't go all the way in there. So therefore, when I put the screws in there, I know exactly where to drill. So we're going to do that and come right back. Okay, that is about as far as we can get that in there. As you see, it's not all the way in there, but it also gives you a measurement. So if we go by that and say that from that, see if I can get my pencil in here, from that 4 there, and say 2/16 is about where it is. So again, we're going to remark this, and then we'll be able to drill some holes along here. Okay. Okay, we're just about done with level 1. As you can see, I took the top off so I can put that screw in there and get it flush. I'm going to drill it down just a little bit more. But as you see, the screw went all the way through, which we're going to take our angle grinder and cut that off. And it took a little bit, just go slow, but it actually went through that stainless steel ruler. So it was thin enough for it to go through. Of course, if I used the aluminum, it would have went through, but at the same time, it would have, it had holes in that one. So it would have been a little bit different. But we're using just from scrap in there, and you can see the bend. You can see how I bent it and how I used the two washers to pinch it in there and the bolt come through. This makes a perfect candle heater. We're going to cut that off the base, and it's already got a hole in there, and we're going to get that flush in there before we cut it. So yes, this will be level 1. Now, how we take this to level 2 is that we put a can around this and a fan to take that heat and pull it out into your area. But that is a level 2. But right now, let's just get level 1 up and going. Okay, we cut the bottom off, and as it sits flat, and you see that I did a very fast pour job. But it is even, and the screw is through. Let's see, go a little bit slower so I know that it always wants to unfocus. And the only thing I have to worry about now is this little stuff that's on the back of it. Is that going to heat up and cause fumes? I'll let you know. But right now, level 1 of the heater, it flits flat, it doesn't wobble, and therefore I can put my candle on there. So now when we put our candle on there, we can position it. It can be different size candles. Let me get that into the frame here. Sorry about that. It can be different size candles, and I can position it in here. Okay. And as you see, we can bring this one in here, and I can get that right over that bolt, and that saves freight. Now, what I'm going to do when I hit level 2 is I'm going to make a base so this doesn't slide around, or if it gets knocked over or anything like that, it'll be semi-safe. So again, we're going to put this top back on here, the hat, and then we're going to fill this up and see it working for level 1. And then we're getting the can or aluminum around it so we can pull the heat from it. That would be level 2. So remember, these things are going to be in the book that I publish. So I have a lot of different heaters that I'm going to be working with. These level 1 heaters are very cheap to do and inexpensive. So most of this stuff that I've gotten, besides the wood, came from a dollar store. All right, let's go to the next segment. Okay, it's a bit wobbly, but it will hold. Let's get this lit. And as you see, that this is your candle heater. It will heat that metal and it'll radiate that heat out. Not a whole lot of heat, but enough. Now, when I do this, I'll set this base inside of aluminum pan. Again, now to have something to catch the wax as it melts down so it doesn't go all over this wood, which can cause another type of fire. But you're going to put metals down here to protect it from any drippage, anything else. And then this will be a full completed thing. Again, just put some aluminum foil down over the top of it. Doesn't have to be neat. I may show that. But right now, this right here is putting off heat. It is putting off heat. You can feel it. And again, we're going to make this safer and safer. So this is a level 1. And then we're going to go to level 2. Of course, remember, I just looked around the house, so stuff that I had around the house. And I made this candle heater in case I do stuff like this, in case I have an emergency. What if I can't go to the store? What do I do, and how do I build it to stay warm? Well, you see me, I just threw some stuff together and used the stuff that I already had. Some of you may not have everything that I have, but that's okay. We're going to show you how to improvise. But again, we're going to make this safer because they sell stuff like this in a store. which they use aroma candles and they put oil at the top of here, or they have scented candles and it gives off this aroma. But that's not when we're using this as a heater. And I'm going to put a link to other similar heaters that I found on the internet that's like this. But then we're going to step 2 and make this much, much safer. And then step 3, how to take that candle and make it like a jet. So it even puts out even more. And that would be with this. Okay, how you punch the holes into this can, how you get air into that can, if I can get it done correctly, because it's very hard to do. But right now, this right here will put off heat. I'm going to show a picture, or I'll do the video part of it and add it in here. How I just add the aluminum foil down here at the bottom, just using regular aluminum foil and make that really fast. But yes, this is how you make a simple, fast candle heater. Okay, quick, easy, and dirty. Just fold some aluminum foil, put it up. I bought these at the Dollar Tree, and I put a little groove in there so it can just set in there. And your candle that will hold the wax. But if you want to do better, then you just take the lid off of this. This is aluminum, which I'm going to do. And as you can see, when we do our step 2, this has a seal around it. So, but you can just simply take your candle and there you have it. Okay? And that wax will be safely in here. So much more information. Again, we're going to do these and upgrade these. I'm going to use this little can for my candle because it holds heat too, and we're going to see just how well it does. So we're going to first take the plastic off this candle. How about that? So we took the plastic and the sticker off the bottom of the candle that was on here, and we're simply going to put our candle in that. And in case it has any flash fires, it's concealed. It's on aluminum. So let's see if we can get that under there. Oh yes, we can get it under there. It's just barely fitting. The candle actually did better. So we may not can use that unless we cut it down. So I'm going to go back to the candle here, and that fits in there nicely from the Dollar Tree. As you can see, that is quite wobbly, but that catches all your candle wax. This I would have to cut down, but you get the gist. All these things can be used and lit. Let's see. And now you have your candle heater for level 1. Okay, when I do another video, we'll be upgrading this. All right, I'll see you later. Doing a small update on the candle. As you can see, the flame is much bigger because I changed out the wick. So the wick in there is made of cotton, but much, much bigger. I put this whole thing into the microwave, melted it down, put the new wick in, and then let it harden again. And I wanted you to hear, see if we can hear this. I put a little scent at the top here, and that is actually cooking off. And I can feel the heat from way back here. So This candle heater is definitely working. This is a finished product, and we're going to do the upgrades in the next video.